hear ye.
This may be no audience book, but a super casual roomie book club, whereupon we mayhaps never arrive at yon point.
But will we readeth Akatar?
Perchance,
Will we go on side quests?
mayhaps.
Witness Madison's magical foresight as she predicteth fates big and small.
Be forewarned. This be no solemn study of letters, but a romp through the realms of chaos and jest.
Forsooth, we do hold silliness in the highest regard, and yet we rate chapters, we judge characters, seek the scribe's craft with glee, and we share our unwarranted opinions aplenty.
Prepare for tangents, chaos, and mirth.
Yeah, disclaimer out.
Oh, moving on. Guys, welcome back.
Welcome.
We're back at it again.
Yeah.
Top of the morning to you, ladies.
Top of the morning to ya. So much has happened, you guys. Madison's body is breaking down on her.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. Like, you've got 10 different ailments.
I do. It's really weird.
You don't have typhus,
No,
so that's something to be
I'm
grateful
here.
for. Still smiling.
I'm a sucker for pain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that a song? I'm a sucker for pain.
Yeah. It's Imagine Dragons.
I knew something.
Good job.
What's changed for me?
Nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed.
Everything is as it is and always has been.
Yeah, I've always been like this.
Always.
Don't question it.
No questions. If you think something's different, then you're wrong.
I was born this way.
Yeah.
I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way.
This is good.
Is this just a sing-along day?
This is, yeah.
I am pretty tone deaf, so you should pick up the slack. Do you want to talk about last chapter? Our worst chapter yet, as far as ratings.
Not, like,
it got
bad.
It was only 2 out of 10.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's just not like, oh, wow.
It was a gap filler. We all know it. Let's be honest.
It was a gap filler.
Yeah.
And that was it.
But those are necessary. Sometimes we got to eat gruel.
Yep, sometimes.
The best part about prison was the Dementors, and they made us eat gruel. I'm Prison Mike. I want a bandana now. Okay, sorry. It's the heat, man. I don't know.
It's another hot day.
Woo. Just in a heat wave at the moment.
It's disgusting. The most exciting thing that happened was Lucian. Don't come for us. So should I do my recap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your title for last episode?
Conspiring. Yeah.
My
Because
chapter-
she's just like, okay, ready?
Mm.
Okay, so she's in the garden. There's something following her. She can't see it, but she goes inside for lunch, but actually it turns into dinner because time. She's sitting there at the dinner and she's like, oh, I'm real sneaky. I'm going to put this knife in my shirt. And they're all having a conversation. By they, it means Tamlin and Lucian. And then she's like looking at them and like, you know, observating them.
Lol.
And she's looking at Lucian's sword and then he goes,
You want some dick?
you admiring my sword or you just playing my death, baby girl? And then she's just like, I don't remember what she said. And then they go on a bit of a talk and they're talking about her planning their deaths and she's like, yeah, if it comes to it. She's just having to be prepared, just like survival mode. Yeah, we know that now her mum's dead because of typhus.
Typhus.
And Tamlin tried to have a heart-to-heart, but she was like,
see ya.
deflect and avoid. So that's where we are.
She's like, how about Lucian though?
Yeah, that's what.
Which Maddie agrees with.
Yeah, that's the only reason it got a 2. I was gonna do 1 because nothing happened. I only got a 2 so generously because of Lucian. So, and that brings us to now.
All caught up.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for you.
And we learned that she was 19, which confirmed. We'd guessed that she was 20 anyway.
I'm so sorry.
What happened to you?
My teeth just got really cold.
That second ice cube just sent me over the edge. It just did. It was too much.
It took me back. Surprise.
What do you think is going to go down in this next chapter? So we have chapter 9 coming up.
How many pages was that?
8.5 pages.
So we've got some information happening. Bit bigger than 6, but not big enough for crazy stuff to go down. Or actually, you know what, fuck it. Crazy shit can still go down. Because they just like to leave it on cliffhangers, don't they?
Mm.
I hope something spicy happens. I want to predict something spicy. But she might get in a tiff with Lucian. Because her plan was to talk to Lucian tomorrow, which should be this chapter. So, maybe he'll spill some beans.
Give me the beans, Lucian.
So, okay, he's going to reveal something.
Okay.
That's my prediction for the chapter.
Sweet. Do you put that on a petite
That's
prediction
what I was thinking.
and say,
So I can
just chapter 9, Lucian will reveal something, and then you can either tick that off
I'm going to do
or
it
not.
so I can either tick it or get rid of it. Chapter 9. I kind of like that his name is Lucian instead of Lucian.
I'm warming up to it, yeah. Lucian reminds me of Lucius Malfoy. Lucian reminds me of Le Chien, the dog in French. I'm warming up to it for sure.
Chapter 9. Lucian reveals something important or interesting to Feyre.
Let's see then.
Yep, let's see.
Oh, we didn't cheers. Illegal. Cheers to chapter 9. Gunpie!
Kanpai!
The following morning, as Alice and the other servant woman prepared my bath, I contemplated my plan. Tamlin had mentioned that he and Lucian had various duties, and aside from running into him in the house yesterday, I'd seen neither of them around. So, locating Lucian alone would be the first order of business.
Find Lucian on his own. Plan as a go.
A casual question tossed in Alice's direction had her revealing that she believed Lucian was on border patrol today and would be at the stables preparing to leave. I was halfway through the gardens, hurrying toward the outcropping of buildings I'd spied the day before, when Tamlin said from behind me, "No tripwires today?" I froze mid-step and looked over my shoulder. He was standing a few feet away. How had he crept up so silently on the gravel? Fairy stealth, no doubt. I willed calm into my veins, my head. I said as politely as I could, "You said I was safe here." So I listened. His eyes narrowed slightly, but he put on what I supposed was his attempt at a pleasant smile. My morning work was postponed, he said. Indeed, his usual tunic was off, the baldric gone, and the sleeves of his white shirt had been rolled up to the elbows to reveal tanned forearms corded with muscle. If you want to ride across the grounds, if you're interested in your new residence, I can take you.
Yeah, you can.
Here we go. Strap in, baby girl. Were you going to say something about his muscly forearm?
Uy, caramba!
A tanned arm. And scene. Again, that effort to be accommodating, even when every word seemed to pain him. Maybe he could eventually be swayed by Lucian. And, until then, how much could I get away with if he was going to such lengths to make his people swear not to harm me, to shield me from the treaty?
To shield her from the treaty.
First and of the chapter.
I'm sorry. Is she fucking stupid? Or am I just not understanding this right? To shield her from the treaty. Part of the treaty, what they've said is if they kill an animal, they basically take her life. Either they...
In exchange.
Yeah, in exchange. So either they kill her or they literally keep her there on their property. She's not
what loophole is there? She's looking for one, but...
Yeah. But why is she shielded? Like, it's just part of the treaty. She's not being shielded from the treaty. It's part of the treaty.
She's like, maybe I can get them on my side to bend the rules a bit.
She's freaking dumb. Tamlin is really trying.
Is that your note? Tamlin is trying.
Yeah.
I smiled blandly and said, "I'd prefer to spend today alone, I think, but thank you for the offer." He tensed. "What about..." "No, thank you," I interrupted, marvelling a bit at my own audacity. But I had to catch Lucian alone. I had to feel him out. He might already be gone. Yeah, you have to feel him.
I'll feel him. She fuck around with Tamlin.
Yeah,
he's trying. He's just a little dog. He's just standing there and being like, "Do you want to come play with me?" And she's like, "Nah, I want the other guy." She's so stupid. All right.
Tamlin clenched his hands into fists, as if fighting against the claws itching to burst out. But he didn't reprimand me, didn't do anything other than prowl back into the house without another word. Soon enough, if I was lucky, Tamlin wouldn't be my problem anymore. I hurried for the stables, tucking away the information. Maybe one day, if I was ever released, if there was an ocean and years between us, I would think back and wonder why he'd bothered. I tried not to look too eager, too out of breath when I finally reached the pretty painted stables. It didn't surprise me that the stable boys all wore horse masks.
Nay.
Nay.
No. Horse girl.
Ruff, ruff. For them, I felt a shred of pity at what the blight had done, the ridiculous mask they now had to wear until someone could figure out how to undo the magic binding them to their faces. But none of the stable hands even looked at me, either because I wasn't worth it or because they too resented me for the death of Andras. I didn't blame them.
Cool. So there's some growth here. Some acceptance that she killed someone.
Some guilt.
Yeah.
Any attempt at casualness took a stumble when I finally found Lucian astride a black gelding, grinning down at me with 2 white teeth. It's 2 white, as in like they're really white, but I kind of saw that as just two white buck teeth.
2 buck teeth.
What animal would that be? Like a rat or a beaver?
Oh, yeah,
Some
a
sort
rabbit.
of rodent. A rabbit. Cute.
Rabbit. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Morning, Feyre. I tried to hide the stiffening in my shoulders, tried to smile a bit. Going for a ride or merely reconsidering Tam's offer to live with us? I tried to recall the words I'd come up with earlier, the words to win him over, but he laughed, and not pleasantly. Come now. I'm to patrol the southern woods today, and I'm curious about the
Hunting skill?
abilities you used to bring down my friend, whether accidental or not. It's been a while since I encountered a human, let alone a fey killer. Indulge me in a hunt.
They can bond! Yes!
Perfect. At least that part of this had gone well, even if it sounded as lovely as facing a bear in its den. So I stepped aside to let a stable boy pass. He moved with a fluid smoothness, like all of them here, and didn't look at me either. No indication at all of what he thought of having a fey killer in his stable. But my kind of hunting couldn't be done on horseback. Mine consisted of careful stalking and well-laid traps and snares. I didn't know how to give chase atop a horse. Lucian accepted a quiver of arrows from the returning stable boy with a nod of thanks. Lucian smiled in a way that didn't meet the metal eye, or the russet one. Wait, so the russet eye is his real eye? Russet as in like a brown eye.
Must be.
So he has one brown eye and then one metal eye.
Interesting.
No ash arrows today, unfortunately. I clenched my jaw to keep a retort from slipping off my tongue. If he was forbidden from hurting me, I couldn't fathom why he would invite me along, save to mock me in whatever way he could.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he was truly that bored. Better for me.
Hmm.
So I shrugged, looking as bored as I could. Well, suppose I'm already dressed for a hunt.
Yeah, she is.
Perfect, Lucian said, his metal eye gleaming in the sunlight, slanting in through the open stable doors. I prayed Tamlin wouldn't come prowling through them, prayed he wouldn't decide to go for a ride on his own and catch us here. Let's go then, I said, and Lucian motioned for them to prepare a horse. I leaned against a wooden wall as I waited, keeping an eye on the doorway for signs of Tamlin, and offered my own bland replies to Lucian's remarks about the weather.
Oh, the sky. Looks like a sky.
Wow. So warm. Mercifully, I was soon astride a white mare, riding with Lucian along the spring-shrouded woods beyond the gardens. I kept a healthy distance from the fox-masked fairy on the broad path, hoping that eye of his couldn't see through the back of his head. I do like that he's on a black horse and she's on a white horse.
I wonder if it's the same horse from when she was arriving.
Oh yeah, because it was a white one.
It was a white man.
I was just thinking about Tamlin, but he wasn't on one. He was on
He
foot
was just
for some
walking.
reason.
Yeah.
The thought didn't sit well, and I shoved it away, along with the part of me that marvelled at the way the sun illuminated the leaves and the clusters of crocuses that grew like flashes of vibrant purple against the brown and green. What is a crocus?
Flower.
Okay. Those were things that weren't necessary to my plans, useless details that only blocked out everything else. The shape and slope of the path, what trees were good for climbing, sounds of nearby water sources, Those things could help me survive if I ever needed to. But, like the rest of the grounds, the forest was utterly empty. No signs of fairies, nor any high fae wandering around. Just as well.
Just as well.
Well, you certainly have the quiet part of hunting down, Lucian said, falling back to ride beside me. Good. Let him come to me, rather than me seeming too eager, too friendly. I adjusted the weight of the quiver strap across my chest, then ran a finger along the smooth curve of the yew bow in my lap. The bow was larger than the one I used at home, the arrows heavier and heads thicker. I would probably miss whatever target I found until I adjusted to the weight and balance of the bow. Yeah, I'm imagining she's just been using a DIY rickety bow at
that's what I
home,
was
and now
thinking.
this is like a big boy.
A proper.
She's just got a huge ass
She's just
crossbow, like... It's pretty cool that they arm her because they're not even worried that she might try and use it on Lucian.
Yeah. He's probably got centuries of skill on her. And not an ash arrow, so even if she does try to maim him,
True.
by the time it's in him, he'll be like...
Pluck it out and heal himself.
Yeah.
So if she shoots him, though, just out of like, you're pissing me off, shut up. Are you imagining he'll just look at her, make long eye contact, yeet it out, regrow, and then like, backhand? 5 years ago, I'd taken the very last of my father's coppers from our former fortune to purchase my bow and arrows. I'd since allotted a small sum every month for arrows and replacement strings. Well, Lucian pressed. No game good enough for you to slaughter? We've passed plenty of squirrels and birds. The canopy above cast shadows upon his fox mask, light and dark and gleaming metal. You seem to have enough food on your table that I don't need to add to it, especially when there's always plenty left over. I doubted squirrel would be good enough for their table. Lucian snorted, but didn't say anything else as we passed beneath a flowering lilac, its purple cones drooping low enough to graze my cheek like cool velvety fingers.
Oh, fingering fingers.
Fingering fingers.
I forgot about that.
You good?
Ja, man. Guten Tag.
Sure. The sweet, crisp scent lingered on my nose even as we rode on. Not useful, I told myself, although the thick brush beyond it would be a good hiding spot if I needed one. You said you were an emissary for Tamlin, I ventured. Do emissaries usually patrol the grounds? A casual, disinterested question. Lucian clicked his tongue. I'm Tamlin's emissary for formal uses, but this was Andrus's shift, so someone needed to fill in. It's an honour to do it. I swallowed hard. Andrus had a place here, and friends here. He hadn't been just some nameless, faceless fairy. No doubt he was more missed than I was. I'm sorry, I said, and meant it. I didn't know what he meant to you all. Lucian shrugged. Tamlin said as much, which was no doubt why he brought you here. Or maybe you looked so pathetic in those rags that he took pity on you.
I love how cold he is.
Yeah.
Or just like brutal. It's really great.
I wouldn't have joined you if I'd known you'd use this ride as an excuse to insult me. Alice had mentioned that Lucian could use someone who snapped back at him. Easy enough. Lucian smirked. Apologies, Feyre.
I love him so much. I'm actually writing that.
Dear diary, I love Lucian so much.
Do you think I was going to hate him?
No, it's more, I'm thinking the accent I'm giving him is kind of like Jasper from Twilight. He's a bit cowboy.
Yeah.
Madam, ma'am.
Ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. You did kept me waiting for so long. Sorry, ma'am. Oh.
It would be an honour and a privilege, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you.
I might have called him a liar for that apology, had I not known he couldn't lie. Which made the apology sincere? I couldn't sort it out. So, he said, when are you going to start trying to persuade me to beseech Tamlin to find a way to free you from the treaty's rules?
I love it so much.
I tried not to jolt. What? What?
Can you read minds?
That's why you agreed to come out here, isn't it? Why you wound up at the stables exactly as I was leaving? He shot me a sideways glance with that russet eye of his. Honestly, I'm impressed and flattered you think that I have that kind of sway with Tamlin.
He's unraveling me.
We don't even need to make it to the main part. You're just like...
Just give me all of Lucian's dialogue and I'll be fine, I think.
Fangirling over Lucian. I'm sure there's some hot girl Lucian club we can find for you
Yeah,
online.
thank you. Thank you, next.
I wouldn't reveal my hand. Not yet.
He
What
already did.
Well, he's said it, but she's not...
Confirming.
She's just trying not to react, yeah. I wouldn't reveal my hand. Not yet. What are you talking... His cocked head was answer enough.
What you saying, girl? Clearly.
He chuckled and said, before you waste one of your precious few human breaths, let me explain 2 things to you. 1, if I had my way, you'd be gone, so it wouldn't take much convincing on your part. 2, I can't have my way, because there is no alternative to what the treaty demands. There's no extra loophole. But there has to be something. I admire your balls, Feyre, I really do. Or maybe it's stupidity. But since Tam won't gut you, which was my first choice, you're stuck here. Unless you want to rough it out on your own in Prithian, which he looked me up and down, I'd advise against. No, I couldn't just stay here forever until I died. Maybe there was some other way, or someone else who could find a way out. I mastered my uneven breathing, shoving away the panicked, bleeding thoughts. A valiant effort, Lucian said with a smirk. I didn't bother hiding the glare I cut in his direction. We rode on in silence, and aside from a few birds and squirrels, I saw nothing, heard nothing unusual. After a few minutes, I'd quieted my riotous thoughts enough to say, where is the rest of Tamlin's court? They all fled this blight on magic? How do you know about the court? He asked so quickly that I realised he thought I meant something else. I kept my face blank. Do normal estates have emissaries? And servants chatter? Isn't that why you made them wear bird masks to that party? Lucian scowled, that scar stretching. We each chose what to wear that night to honour Tamlin's shape-shifting gifts, the servants too. But now, if we had the choice, we'd peel them off with our bare hands, he said, tugging on his own. It didn't move. What happened to the magic to make it act that way? Lucian let out a harsh laugh.
Ha ha ha.
Something was sent from the shitholes of hell, he said, then glanced around and swore. Fuck. I shouldn't have said that. If word got back to her. Who? The colour had leached from his sun-kissed skin. He dragged a hand through his hair. Never mind. The less you know, the better. Tam might not find it troublesome to tell you about the blight, but I wouldn't put it past a human to sell the information to the highest bidder.
Interesting. That could be her loophole.
I bristled, but the few bits of information he'd released lay before me like glittering jewels. A her who scared Lucian enough to make him worry, to make him afraid someone might be listening, spying, monitoring his behaviour, even out here. I studied the shadows between the trees, but found nothing. Prithian was ruled by 7 high lords. Perhaps this she was whoever governed this territory. If not a high lord, then a high lady, if that was even possible. How old are you? I asked, hoping he'd keep divulging some more useful information. It was better than knowing nothing. Old, he said. He scanned the brush, but I had a feeling his darting eyes weren't looking for game. His shoulders were too tense. What sort of powers do you have? Can you shapeshift like Tamlin? He sighed, looking skyward before he studied me warily, that metal eye narrowing with unnerving focus. Trying to figure out my weaknesses so you can... I glowered at him. Fine. No, I can't shapeshift. Only Tam can. But your friend, he appeared as a wolf, unless that was his... No, Andros was high fae too. Tam can shift us into other shapes if need be. He saves it for his sentries only though. When Andros went across the wall, Tam changed him into a wolf so he wouldn't be spotted as a fairy, though his size was probably indication enough. Gargantuan.
Gargantuan.
We only have a page and a half.
Okay.
Fuck. Time has flown. Oh, not really. Feels like it has.
Wait, there's information.
Information! Glittering jewels of information!
There's a her.
Who the fuck is she? This is so cool rereading this. Like, I can't believe that this is all... This honestly feels like new information to me.
There's a her. Tamlin shape.
And can change other peeps. He can go, bink, bink.
He's high fae.
Tamlin is.
Andros was high fae too. Maybe they were brothers.
But why are they brothers?
Well, because he's high fae also.
A shudder went down my spine, violent enough that I didn't acknowledge the red-hot glare Lucian lobbed my way. I didn't have the nerve to ask if Tamlin could change me into another shape. Anyway, Lucian went on, the high fae don't have specific powers the way lesser fairies do.
Hold on. Because if we can go from the thought of her saying, I don't want to think about what other shape
Yeah.
make me. All I can think about is him turning her into a square.
Why would he turn her into a square?
Because she's like, what shape can he make me?
Not what creature.
Just shape.
Yeah. Triangle, circle, square, umbrella.
Square.
Feyre, new fear unlocked. Worried Tamlin will turn her into square.
Cool.
I don't have a natural born affinity, if that's what you're asking. I don't clean everything in sight, or lure mortals to a watery death, or grant you answers to whatever questions you might have if you trap me. We just exist. To rule. Same. Ding. I turned in the other direction so he couldn't see as I rolled my eyes. I supposed if I were one of you, I'd be one of the fairies, not high fae, a lesser fairy like Alice, waiting on you hand and foot. He didn't reply, which amounted to a yes. With that arrogance, no wonder Lucian found my presence as a replacement for his friend to be abhorrent. And since he would probably loathe me forever, since he'd ended my scheming before it had even begun, I asked,
Her scheming had begun. What is she talking about?
Since he'd ended my scheming before it had even begun, I asked, how'd you get that scar? I didn't keep my mouth shut when I should have, and was punished for it. Tamlin did that to you? Cauldron, no. He wasn't there. But he got me the replacement afterward.
Cute.
More answers that weren't answers. So, there are fairies who will actually answer any question if you trap them? Maybe they'd know how to free me from the treaty's terms. Yes, he said tightly. The Suriel, but they're old and wicked, and not worth the danger of going out to find them. And if you're stupid enough to keep looking so intrigued, I'm going to become rather suspicious and tell Tam to put you under house arrest. Though I suppose you would deserve it if you were indeed stupid enough to seek one out. They had to lurk nearby then, if he was this concerned. Lucian whipped his head to the right, listening, his eye whirring softly. The hair on my neck stood, and I had my bow drawn in a heartbeat, pointing in the direction Lucian stared.
I'm guessing it's Tamlin.
Put your bow down, he whispered, his voice low and rough. Put your damned bow down, human, and look straight ahead. I did as he said, the hair on my arms rising as something rustled in the brush. Don't react, Lucian said, forcing his gaze ahead too, the metal eye going still and silent. No matter what you feel or see, do not react. Don't look, just stare ahead. I started trembling, gripping the reins in my sweaty hands. I might have wondered if this was some kind of horrible joke, but Lucian's face had gone so very, very pale. Our horses' ears flattened against their heads. Not a good sign. But they continued walking, as if they'd also understood Lucian's command. And then I felt it. And
Was that an end?
That's our last and for the chapter.
Wait, but I want to know.
Because the chapter's over.
Why did... See, I said it from the start. I said, oh, nothing's going to happen. And then I was like, oh, wait, anything can happen. They'll probably leave it on a cliffhanger. What did she do? Leave it on a cliffhanger. Fucking silly bitch. Let me just add that in thing. Cliffhanger. Something scary. Again.
Don't look, but she can feel. I like how she said the horses understood the assignment.
Don't look, don't react. It's like, don't show, don't let them know.
Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know.
And now they know.
Let it go, let it go.
Crazy. So it's probably another fae or something. We did it.
Might I read your summary, my dear? Chapter 9. Tamlin is trying and Feyre is pissing us off. Hunting with Lucian. I love Lucian so much. There's a her Lucian is very scared of. Tamlin shapeshifts and can allow others to also. Andrus was high fae too. The cereal nearby. Cliffhanger, something scary. Don't look, don't react.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Guess what my title is?
I think your title is
I want to see if you're on the same wavelength.
Frozen.
No. You get one more try, because you should.
Square.
Close. Shapes.
Shapes! That's pretty good. I was like,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Chapter 9, Shapes.
I like it. Because they're such silly titles.
We are fond of yon silliness.
Of yon silliness.
So, did
Love
you like
it.
that chapter?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Was that fun? Was that good for you, baby?
Yeah, we'll do a 5. I'll rate that a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, okay.
Left on a fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah. I thought you'd be a bit happier that they were out in the woods and
Yeah, but
getting some jewels of information.
Yeah, that's why it's 5.
Okay.
Because I'm measuring it against the previous chapter.
Yeah,
as
harsh
well.
judge though.
Yeah. I gotta save the really good points for the really good chapters. I
True.
think.
We expect to see like a crescendo as the book goes on, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
She fucked Tamlin off pretty quick.
Yep.
She knew who she wanted and it was Lucian.
And he got that point. He got that idea. Like, he knew her assignment.
I like that he just shut her down instantly.
Yeah.
He's like, so when are you going to hit me up about your
Get
plan?
into it, yeah. And how quickly can I just tell you it's not happening? Pretty quick.
He really puts her in her place.
Yeah.
In a
It's
good way.
cool. It's cool. Oh. I feel bad for Tamlin.
Why?
Well, his friend's dead. Feyre's been a bit of a bitch, and he just wants to, like, be on okay-ish terms, and then she's just like, how do I get the fuck out of here? Which is fair, but then also, like, you shouldn't have killed the freaking dog, and, yeah, I don't know. Nothing much. Nothing really new, except this, we got a little bit of a crumb about maybe a potentially new character, new few characters.
Who?
Her?
Who's her?
Who knows? She thinks, and by she I mean Feyre thinks it might be some lady, high lady, or whoever governs the area, but
Do you agree?
nah.
What do you think?
I don't know what to think. I think that there's a council, so there has to be like a council or something, and she's just running the reins. I don't know. She kind of, this energy of her gives me Jane from Twilight energy.
Pain.
Pain
Pain.
on the call out.
Can we give us red eyes? Pain.
Pain. Yeah, and then we've got the cereal, which is going to be interesting.
What's a cereal?
I have no clue. Apparently, Faye, that will just tell you anything. It will answer any of your questions.
It will read your cards.
Interesting.
It's like a tarot reader. You're a cereal. If you were a fae, you'd be a cereal.
Amazing. I'll tell you whatever you
They're
want
pretty
to
good
know.
at predicting the future.
Put me in the world.
Hmm.
But yeah. Cool.
Seems as if you're enjoying Lucian more and more.
Mm-hmm. He's funny. He's
Mm.
good.
Mm.
He's interesting. He's exactly as I feel.
Dark humor. Sassy.
Sassy.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Cocky. Arrogant.
Yeah. Cocky and arrogant. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
You like them to be a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be let down in this series.
Yes.
We're not here for the nice guys.
No. We're here for the shadow daddies.
What's the opposite of shadow daddy? Light boy.
Mummy's boy.
Vanilla boy. Boring boy.
A mummy's boy.
Mummy's
yeah.
boy. Okay.
Yeah. They're a different breed, those guys.
Pathetic.
No.
So, from this chapter,
What's going to happen?
have you got any thoughts about the wider story now?
No.
That's all right.
No, not really. Well, besides that, Feyre will be the one that cures the blight, as predicted in chapter 7. There will be something about that. But other than that, how and when and all that, I don't know yet. Hopefully chapter 10 tells me. And then I know what the story's going to be like. I hope chapter 10 reveals a bit more.
So they went hunting, but didn't catch anything. Didn't hunt.
Yeah.
It's more of a chinwag. It's like how boys go golfing. But it's not really for the golf sometimes.
Sometimes it's just for the companionship, the talks,
Yeah.
the energy. Well, she's basically been like, well, you don't actually really need me to hunt because you guys have plentiful amount
I'm
of
not
food.
putting a squirrel on the table when you have a fucking feast.
Guys, I killed that. I would do that.
It would be funny though if she got a bird or a squirrel and then she's like, I'm only eating my food because I know it's not poisoned.
Yeah.
And she's just like gnawing on her. She just has her little campfire.
Just sucking on the little bones. That's so mean.
I reckon that would be you out of spite, like declining their food. Like, I'm going to get my own.
Yeah. But I would make it so obnoxious. I would literally sit there and suckle on everything. I want to be at the table. I'd have so much fun.
No, the food sounds good.
I wouldn't even sit at the very end. I'd sit right next to them. And be
You'd
like...
sit in Lucian's lap, bro.
Yeah. Let's be honest, yeah. Am I going to be disgusted by his drawing?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
he's a hottie.
Okay.
Well, again, they're so varied, so I'm hesitant. Like, I will look into it, but I would rather choose wisely what I show you than show you, like, a big range and then it...
I just need him. I don't care about anyone else.
Okay.
I just need him.
Okay.
I need to know what I'm looking at.
Soon, my love.
Chapter 10?
Sure. A celebration. This is all for today. Good morrow and good night.
Good night. Good night, sir.
I'll show them my dino.
I thought we weren't addressing it, though.
Oh, yeah. What dino? Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Abiento.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves.
I pooped.
Did you release your
I did.
negative
I
energy?
thought I was releasing judgment or being self-conscious. Making my way downtown, talking fast. And we're out.
Perfect.
Cut.
Cut.